Well, good morning, humanity. It's March 11th, 2024, and it's the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name is Paul.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Good morning. This is Bev.
I know. It's like, what year is it? What day is it? Back here in Tucson, Arizona, it's taken over a
Right.
week to acclimate after you go on a
You're a little
vacation. It's
disoriented
like,
still.
what the hell? Why do we go on vacation? It's great.
Dressed up.
Anyway, hello everyone. Here we are again, and we're going to have a nice show today. Give us your comments about what poverty means to you, and we're going to talk about how BioTouch can help us end poverty, both in our consciousness, our thoughts, and also in a reality, in a real sense. So one of the reasons this came up, I was came across my TikTok, and yes, I have a TikTok account, at least for a little while,
TikTok
at least a
free.
little while longer,
Right.
till they make me illegal. And
Oh no.
and
No.
there was a thread came from the Krishnamurti Foundation, and he talked about the ability, and this is back in the I don't know 50s, 60s, the ability to end poverty on a global level.
Yep.
But he talked about, and of course he's always about the mind, how the mind just puts up the brakes, and how there's,
Yep.
the problem is the fear of giving up, the differences between politicals and plans, and all of a sudden, everybody's trying to figure it out while poverty remains a reality. And so let's start out with this. Back when we were kids, right? You were telling me about that, and I
I
had the same
know.
experience. Go ahead, tell us about that.
Yeah, well, we probably all have said, you're sitting at the dinner table with mom and dad and you don't like everything that's on the plate. And my mom used to say, eat everything on your plate. There are little kids in other countries starving. And I remember the first time she said that, and I'm going, why? What do you mean they're starving? How do I have food and they do not have food? That does not compute. Just eat your dinner. Of
Right,
course, she didn't know the answer either.
right. Yeah, and I had the exact same thought as a little child, that and war. It just never
No,
made
no,
any
didn't make
sense to
sense.
me. It's
Nope,
like, wait a minute. I mean,
no.
we're all on this planet together. We all have the same resources, like you said
What?
here. We should have, and it's because it's in abundance if we take care of it, access to air to breathe, food to eat, shelter, water, and community, And so but for some reason, we don't have that for some of us. And so how can BioTouch help in raising the awareness that we truly could end poverty?
So, you know, as we were saying before, poverty isn't all about I don't have. There's a poverty mentality, a poverty attitude that many of us have cultivated in our lives, and the dialogue is, I don't have, I'm not worthy, I can't. This is not always about, I don't have a piece of bread to eat. This is a whole attitude about how we feel about ourselves. And what's missing is that fifth element that you mentioned, community. That's the key, because the if we don't really use it a lot anymore, but for many years, that mission statement for this foundation was what? Love thy neighbor. That's what BioTouch encourages, to love thy neighbor. This is where it starts breaking down, because we are not at a point where we really understand. You want to treat everybody else like you want to be treated. You want to have what everybody else deserves to have. And those four things at least are our birthright. Just by being on this planet, I read a book, my first book when I was crazy back in the 70s, by Ken Kaiser, called The Keys to Consciousness. Four things that you absolutely require to live a quality of life: air, water, shelter, and food. Everything else is choice. That's what you
That,
actually need. Okay. We all need to have those four things. And some of us don't. Does not make sense.
and it's like we've talked about over and over and over. Our birthright is to be, along with those things, happy, healthy, and loved.
Right.
And that is the mission of getting BioTouch out to all humanity. And when people feel better, when people feel loved, when they feel cared for, that's the beginning, as you said, I think, of getting us out of that poverty mentality. And like you said, it's not about not just having food, it's about
Oh,
feeling lonely. It's about
yes.
going into these medical systems and hospitals and taking all these handful of pills to take care of all these diseases. um, our health is a right too. We're poverty in our health.
Well, you and I have actually had a show on what affluency means. It's kind of the opposite of poverty.
Right.
It's not about having a lot of money, It's affluency is about the attitude that I am part of a huge community and I am here to play my part. And the best way that I can contribute to this group is by being as healthy as I can so that I can physically, emotionally, mentally do and serve, which is the bottom line here. We're all here to serve in that community. When
Right.
you are sick in your body and you are, you can't move and you're in pain and suffering, you're not going to be able to give everything within you to service. So it just and it colors everything in our life.
And I think part of that poverty idea too is that if I'm affluent and I give away some of my wealth or my abilities,
My
I'm
time,
losing.
my
Right.
yes,
I'm
yes.
losing something. That's
Oh,
a mentality of poverty, that well, I have a right to this, and if I give it away, that everybody can pick themselves up by the bootstraps. I always thought that was weird as a kid too. I'm like,
I know,
wait a
I
minute,
know.
that doesn't make any sense. There are some people born into a situation, there is no way, they don't even know what that concept is. Pick
See
yourself
that
up by the bootstraps.
that is what I was going to say. All those things that you just mentioned are because of a not understanding or remembering or whatever we want to call it, that there is we've been told by great masters, the more that you give, the more you get. That's just a law.
Right.
Stop being so here we go with that poverty mentality. I can't give because I'm poor and I need this and I that. So this is a whole process of un unfolding a self-consciousness, an awareness. And well, I'm going to bring it always back to BioTouch. This BioTouch has the power to stimulate us awake. Yes, it starts on the skin. Yes, we have been over that. Everything's held in this little vessel here, but it starts to break open. It starts to uh, elevate. It starts to make us aware of certain things that maybe change our diet, change the way we think about ourselves and our community, on and on and on.
Right. So if we can't, if we a little queasy about giving money or giving food or giving, part of our acreage to somebody, we can give touch. We can give biotouch. Let that be.
Yes.
It reminds me of that ex-CIA agent who said what was happening in Memphis 35 years ago is the biggest revolution he'd ever said, because it was a revolution based on love. And if we can all begin with something simple like that, then you get the chance to see, as I'm giving, I am receiving. It really happens. Just doing that greeting with someone, as you
Yep.
touch that person, it's a cycle. And even you can picture the two fingers touching that just below the breastbone. There's a cycle going on. You're giving and receiving and giving and receiving, and as somebody gets better, you get better. It's just it takes us out of that poverty attitude.
Yeah, I agree. I
So
mean,
that's our only job here. We talked about fundraising too.
yeah.
You know,
Well, it isn't the root meaning of words are very interesting, aren't they? If you take fundraising, which is a thought in our foundation, of course, uh, especially right now with all kinds of wonderful opportunities coming. But when you fund something, what are you doing? You're actually supporting something. When you raise something, you're elevating. So you're funding and supporting an elevation of something. It's just like, again, having this tweaking the attitude. When we say fundraising, oh no, that's a lot of work, and then oh my gosh, and blah. No, it's all in. I had a teacher once, she said, sorry guys, you're going to have to go through the stuff, but the attitude about what you're going through is going to change the quality of the outcome.
hmm.
Be present with the journey. And that's what BioTouch offers us, to be present, not just within ourselves, but to be present with another one of our brothers and sisters, and to go on this journey together, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
And what could be more joyous, more affluent, more equalizing, more loving, more healthy, more uh, folks, it's time on the planet. And
Words fail us.
I, I will just keep going and going, and Bev and I will every week keep going and going, and we will keep this foundation going to bring this revolution to humanity because it's time, and more than time now because you get to see it every day. It's not like it's hidden and you got to find it in the
Yeah,
back page of a newspaper.
right.
I
It's
mean,
there.
it's there. It's in our
Yep.
face.
Yep.
The distinctions and differences between people in our societies. Um,
Yeah.
and it's time to bring healing, to bring equality. It was interesting on the Oscars last night. They did a whole Indian dance, powwow Indian dance. And I'm
Oh,
sitting there going, something, you wouldn't have seen this a year ago.
no.
Because of the killing of the Flower Moon show and that woman Lily, I can't remember her last name, but
Yeah.
there's a movement of recognizing that we are all different in our cultures, in our beliefs, in our thoughts, in our religions, in our politics, but we are all one as a humanity. And
Unity in diversity.
yes, and BioTouch activates that in an action that can be felt, expressed with all human beings on the
And
planet.
breaks all those barriers down for us, doesn't
Yes.
it?
And it's
Really
time to
does.
do that. We are asking you to join us in our fundraising attempt here as we
There you
get
go.
BioTouch out there to humanity. It's really easy. Go to justtouch.com. If you want nothing else, just download the greeting. The greeting, you take the index and the middle finger of your dominant hand, touch another human being just below the breastbone in that soft tissue for 6 to 8 seconds. Take that same dominant hand and touch just to the left of this big bone at the base of your neck, just to the left about an inch for 6 to 8 seconds, lightly, like a butterfly. That's it. That's all it takes. 30 seconds out of your life. And we will
Wow.
start creating a chain that will go on indefinitely.
That's us. Yep.
That's us. And so we have other ways to learn it. We do have a workshop coming up this Saturday, 9 to 4 Arizona time. It's a virtual one. We are live with you virtually, and we practice the points. We show you the points. We break up into groups. It's a great time, goes quickly. That's this Saturday. Sign up on our website or drop us an email at office@justtouch.com. And then coming up in a couple of weeks, we have a presentation on blindness. We have a speaker, Kirk Adams. He's the president and CEO of the American Foundation for the Blind. I'm actually going to interview him right after the show.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
wonderful.
pre-recorded for the show, but looking
Right.
forward to that.
Yes.
So also we have numerous other workshops that you can pull up on our website. Just go up on top, says health conditions. All kinds of workshops. There's over 75 different workshops on different conditions. And if you don't see the condition that you need, contact us. We'll find somebody to give a presentation and we'll teach the points, just a few sets of points. You don't have to learn the whole technique. You know, if you're just going to deal with blindness, there's only a couple of sets to have to do.
Right.
So, you know, this is not something that you have to learn the whole technique. You might
That's the
just have a
beauty of it.
particular issue you're working with, and we're here to help you bring that into your family, with your loved ones, whatever. And understand, you're going to be effective. There are no levels. Everyone's effective the first time they do it. We have to just say that again over and over and over.
Over and over. It's hard to believe, but it's true.
Right.
Yep.
Because to think that there's differences is poverty consciousness. The equality that we all have the ability to help one another is bringing abundance to the planet. So,
Yes. Healing.
healing.
Healing, abundance, love, all of those things. I think we're so ready for that, aren't we?
Yes.
And BioTouch is here to help us.
So please join us in sharing BioTouch around the world. If you're not on our email list, get on it. You get the replays of all these shows. These are also on all your podcasts. You can pull it up. Just pull up BioTouch Healing. And again, let us know how we can help you personally. All right, Bev, we did it again.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you all next week, same time, same station, in
Have a
your
wonderful
home.
week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.